Welcome back to Ryan Doesn't Podcast Words from a Humble King. Per usual, got a great guest here with me. I'm actually grateful for this interview because I've been working under this system for the last 5.5 years and doing great work. Director of Why Not Inc., the mind behind this mentorship program here in the DMV, the nonprofit, and I'm getting ready to send the program through accreditation, which is dope. More credibility to the program, the mind behind the new charter school that's getting ready to be launched in Charles County, Why Not Academy, but then also the Senior Director of Customer Experience of Compliance with Graduate School USA, public speaker, Miss Regina Gibbons. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So look, we were talking off camera and you were telling me you have a problem with receiving compliments. Talk to me about that for a second, because the list is not even half of what you've been able to get done in your life. And I sat under your stewardship for the last half a decade. And I think you think my eyes have been shut, but they have not been shut. They've been open. And I know what I've seen, but I also know what you don't want us to comment on. Why?
Well, the reality of it is that I believe operating in excellence is what everyone is supposed to do. So when you tell me good job, I don't understand the concept because everything should be a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to not do a good job. And when I do, it makes me feel some sort of way. So I always have to aim for a good job. So compliments come because they feel like you've done something that's good. I want all my work to always be good.
Right. No, I get that part. So you want it to be a normalcy.
Right.
And but you do know that everybody doesn't reach greatness.
I don't think I've reached greatness yet either.
Now that's the reason why you're great.
Yeah, I definitely, there's so much more to strive for. Because if I reached greatness, we wouldn't have youth incarceration. We wouldn't have juvenile issues. Like, greatness for me is truly seeing a change in the world all over. That's greatness. So I've only had probably established a modicum of where I want to be.
Where do you think that comes from? The wanting to see the good in this world the way that you do?
Because I don't understand why it's not. I think people are inherently good. Situations and circumstances turn them to a negative posture. So I just feel like we have to put more energy into loving. We have to put more energy into being kind. We need to put more energy into manifesting goodness in people versus always seeing the negative in them.
I agree with you. The nonprofit has, I believe, the characteristics of a holistic approach when it comes to serving a community.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the things that makes it great is that in that holistic approach, you actually care about every single detail when it comes to the programs that we offer within our nonprofit. And I want you to speak to the reasons why you felt to go beyond the child.
Because they don't live alone. They're not on this world alone. They're not in their house alone. So if you can't change the mindset of the household, then you're spinning your wheels doing nothing. They'll take what you've learned and try to implement it in their house. But we all know when children start to speak, a lot of us don't listen. We don't want to hear what they have to say. So who's going to take them seriously? So what better way than to have the parents be the catalyst to what we're trying to impart in the child so that they can grow together?
I think that's so good. So talk to me about the programs that concentrate on the parents at our nonprofit.
So we have a Parent Power series where every Monday, we come up with topics that will affect a parent in their relationship with the child or their parenting or just them being great. We do things like when your child is the bully. Everybody talks about being bullied. But when you actually know your child is the bully, what do you do about it? How do you fix that?
Right.
What type of emotions does that bring about when you know that your child is the reason why people are scared to go to school? We talk about mental health. We talk about suffering in silence because, we're at the holiday season right now. And so depression is a real thing. Seasonal depression happens. And so unfortunately in the Black community, we want to pray about it, but we don't necessarily want to get the help about it. And prayer definitely changes things, but going to a therapist does too.
Absolutely.
So, I think we have to mirror the two. So we really try to make the taboo conversations a normal conversation. We even talk about helping you get your house, getting your first house. Like, is it your first time? We try to give you tips and tricks on how to fix your credit, how to work towards attaining wealth, obtaining assets, making sure that you're in a position to succeed.
Yeah, because when the parents are doing well, the kids are doing well. And just listening to you explain that in your soliloquy, it kind of highlights the traumatic or troubled youth, right? Anytime you want to reach beyond a child and get to a parent, you are noticing something to the children. Talk to me about that.
Well, we coined this term a while ago about at-risk youth, and we always talked about poverty being the indicator of what at-risk means. Well, for me, it's more of the underserved population, and poverty is not the key indicator. The key indicator for me is how well the child is matriculating through. And you have some children who have both parents in the household, and they come to our programs because both parents are working. So they give the children everything, but they don't give them the most important thing, which is attention and love.
Right.
And then we have those children who get none of that, have nothing, they get nothing, and so they're on the other end of the spectrum. And then you have the one in the middle who they get the attention, they get the love, but just don't have the resources to visit, to be a part of, to encounter some of the experiences. So we try to make sure we have something for each one of those areas.
Yeah. I'll also include the confidence factor too. And with that, talk to me about the programs that, because we have some that speak specifically to the young girls, we have some that speak specifically to the boys. Talk to me about the programs here.
So we have Cover Girl Diva, which is for our young women, and that is divine, inspirational, virtuous, and anointed. It definitely covers self-worth at its best. We talk about self-esteem, we talk about self-motivation, self-discipline. It's a 6-week program where we take them through these series of tests to figure out where they fall on the level of self-confidence and how we can better serve them. And at the end of that program, if their parents agree, they'll be matched with a mentor. And then that mentor takes the information from the program, and that's what they work with them on for the rest of the year. We do the same thing on the male side, which is like my swag, which means sealed with a gift. Like, we're all sealed with something, but we want our young men to know that they are kings, and it just takes a little bit of pushing and prodding to get it out of them. And the same concept, we talk about self-discipline a lot more with our young men because they're a lot more impulsive.
Right.
So we try to make sure that they understand that they can sit on their hands when they feel like they need to do something. And then they get paired with a mentor as well, and that mentor takes their information and carries them through the rest of the year. And we know when you get a mentor, and if you get a good mentor, a year is not how long they stay. You have mentors for life. There are still people from when I was 7 I could call and say, I need your help, and they're right there.
Yeah, you're right about that. I think that your attention to detail, and I'm listening to your mind behind these programs. I mean, of course, in the programs committee, I'm a VP on the board, but I get a chance to kind of see these programs, but I get a chance to see the detail in the programs and how strategically thought out they are. And I know I just heard you talk about I'm supposed to be great, but I wanted to tap into why be great this way. because you are loving in a specific way. This is not a blanket type of love. You're not covering a bunch of different things. You are concentrating intentionally on a certain pain within the DMV area. Where does that level of precision in your greatness or in your supposed to come from?
Because our young people are our future. I've sat in a lot of groups. I listen to a lot of people talk about how bad our kids are. Oh, they just don't listen. Oh, they just don't do this. Oh my goodness. Grab your purse, lock your door, all of those things. But I just feel like they are truly the future. Like, we're not going to be here long. And I'm certain that they sat and talked about us like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not to this level, but all they need is some support. And we've given internet and social media and television and all these other things the ability to raise these young people, and they need social interaction. They need someone that cares for them. They need someone to tell them that was a good job. They need those things.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just really because I had somebody do it for me. So I don't understand why everybody can't have that.
Yeah, and I tell you, I do it because I didn't have it, right? And but I'm first of all, thank you. Grateful for first of all your kind of mind doing this kind of work, because a lot of times, you have people that come from traumatic past that want to reach back, want to give back, want to get at the helm of something like this, but it's done in an unprofessional way. You can see that individual's trauma all over the place with the way that the organization may be ran. But this organization is, we have our struggles within, but I tell you, man, we're in, instead of saying it, how many schools are we in?
24.
Talk to me. Come on, man. Talk to me about that level of impact here for a second. Have you stopped for a second and even thought about that for a moment?
I think about it often because I'm always thinking about where's the next school, what's the next thing, how do we increase impact in the schools we're in. And in all of these schools we're doing something different, whether it's the chess club in one, whether it's the photography club in one, whether we're offering prom accessories or we're offering backpacks or things of that sort, whether we're giving out turkeys, giving out toys, or whether we're in there just straight doing programs. There is something we're doing for hopefully almost every district in Prince George's County. Somebody is touched by Why Not Inc. And that's really my goal. I want Why Not to be a household name. I used to tell people that we were going to be the YMCA on steroids. That was my goal, to become the YMCA on steroids. But I've realized that we're going to surpass the YMCA. Like, that's no longer a goal for me. My goal is to literally change the world one child at a time, one academy at a time, one program at a time.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I actually believe it. I actually believe it. I saw. I mean, I've 5 years in this with this program. I've seen a lot, but I don't get a chance to make it to every single thing. One of the things that blew me away was the prom boutique. Oh my! And while I'm there, you may remember, I pulled out my phone, I pulled out my tripod, and I'm like, no, we got to get this greatness.
Right.
And I was all over the place capturing that level of greatness. I could not believe how much you had accumulated to give away, right? And before we even talk about how much you gave to get it, you have to be a bulldog. You gotta, and I'm talking about reaching out to different organizations and other companies and other stores to be able to hand out that amount of clothing for boys and girls going to their prom, and to see the young women come in there, and then you had so much help from the fellas that came to lend a hand,
Mm-hmm.
and the young ladies that came in, and the women that came in to lend a hand. People were walking up out of there looking fly, right?
They
And
were.
my wife came, and I distinctly remember her telling one of the young girls who picked up some earrings, "They don't go with those shoes." And I'm looking at the shoes like, well, why not? Right? What's wrong with that? And I'm videotaping because I'm trying to stay quiet. And she went on ahead. But the thing was, it was like the it was like people brought their greatness to the event too. And when you seen it, the energy was transferable. And you was like, nah, man, this, when you walked in, you was like, oh, I got to give this my greatness. That's why I poured out I'm like, I got to get this. And my wife was like, nah, and everyone there was so headstrong on everyone walking out of there with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that. Prom boutique.
Our prom boutique has grown tremendously. When we first did it, 5 years ago now, I think we had 12 people come. We were at Suitland High School, and Suitland was gracious enough to give us the gym, and we had 12 people. And for me, then it was like, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Oh yay. And so as we continued to grow, I had schools reaching out, can you come to our school? Can you do it here? And just by sheer organic growth, last year we were able to give out 400 different outfits. We had 400 kids come through. Collecting the stuff has really been people calling saying, what do you need? I can truly say that I have a tribe around me that is unmatched. Like, I truly have a tribe. And right now in New Jersey, there are people collecting dresses and shoes because they know that the prom boutique is happening.
It's coming.
Right now in New York, there are people collecting dresses and shoes. I've had stuff sent to me from Florida, from California, just because they know that the prom boutique. But one of the things, there are a multitude of prom boutiques, right? Or prom dress giveaways. But one of the things I wanted to do to make sure that ours was different is that every single person that walks in there, you have your own personal shopper. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like now you feel that this is truly all about you.
Yep.
And that's what I try to ensure. We have young men, the Zetas have done an amazing job showing up for me. So that's a challenge to any other sorority or fraternity who wants to be a part. Mm-hmm. But they do an amazing job. They collect dresses, they collect suits. The Sigmas, they do the same. And so they come and they get a kick out of making sure that these young people are definitely dressed to the T, and they leave out of there with everything that they want. We have hairdressers who donate hairstyles, and barbers, and makeup artists. I mean, we have some celebrity makeup artists who they give away free makeup sessions. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is take the coupon and call them and say you are part of our prom boutique, and they will do your makeup. Next year we have a car club who is willing to escort some of our young people to the prom. So it gets bigger every year.
It definitely. I made it to other events, but that blew me away. And I thought that was going to be the top of what I would experience. But then this year's back to school drive, I mean, you had souped up cars come through.
Yeah.
You had somebody doing haircuts on the spot. Man, you had George Washington sent some students out. Mm-hmm. To lend a hand, fire department come out. You were able to give away, was it 300?
We did about 570.
570 book bags and school supplies. Talk to me about that one, because that's not easy to put together either.
It's the same concept. One thing I think people fail at is relationship building. And what I've learned in my life is that there is nothing I can do alone. Right. All of this may look great, but there are a number of people on the inside who make this work. And, I am a person that if I tell you I'm going to do something for you, I'm going to do it. Mm. And so I surround myself with those same type of people. So when these events come up, they're already ready. They know their job. We have a gala coming up on the 7th, and I already have those who are saying,
get there.
I know my job.
Jumping the gun on me. Go ahead.
I already know what I'm supposed to do. And it's the same thing with the backpack drive. I try to be very consistent. I try to make sure that we have the same events, because these are things people need. Right? And next year, honestly, one of the things I want to do for our backpack drive next year is, in every book bag, I want to be able to put $20 so that you can put it on your lunch, because we know that is a concern too. We have students who can't pay for their lunch.
Yeah.
So I know $20 isn't a lot, but it's definitely enough to get you started.
It goes a long way.
Right.
Yeah, it goes a long way. And there's a lot of anxiety for a lot of kids who start in school and don't feel like they have what they need or can be who they need to be, or be able to eat.
Absolutely.
I think that's absolutely amazing. And you jumped the gun on me.
Sorry.
with the gala. But I tell you what, last year's gala, whatever you want to call it, it was fun. I had a good time, except for when we chose the color. But I was upset about that.
It's okay.
I didn't get a chance to vote, right? But man, it was a great time, and I came to the first two, I came to the first two, and last year my mother came with me, and she got a chance to see what I had been trying to communicate. But when she came, Ryan, I didn't know it was this. Talk to me about that.
And that's normally what most people say. You can talk to them and, you need to visit, you need to be a part of, you need to donate, you need to do all these things. But I tell people, don't donate $1 until you've been to one of our events. Because once you come to one of our events, you're going to want to sow into what we're doing. The gala started as an idea, because when I first started, I had $0, and I said, hey, I need to make something happen. So everybody said, just host this thing. Host it. It's going to be all right. And we started. Color was black and white. It was a family affair. That was the name of it, because I knew all my family was going to come if nobody else showed up. And we actually filled the room. And so then the next year, COVID happened. So we kind of held off on it. And so we skipped a year until we got to our red year, which we were intentionally inspired. And so our color was red and white. As you see, we have a theme here.
Right.
So then last year we got to be seen green, where you were growing, resilient, evolving, effective, and noble. And so every year our theme has been a color. We green was the color last year, and then last year I let the audience choose the color. Ryan just missed it, but they chose orange. And so this year our gala is to be a night of elegance in orange. And so we are so excited about the things to come. We have our young people who are the mistress of ceremony this year, because it's a female that we have as the mistress of ceremony. And our speaker, Brandy Bridget, a financial guru in Prince George's County. So I'm excited. I'm ready.
I am too. Listen, last year,
I'm ready,
because I came to the first one, and I had a blazer on, but I just threw like this men's health shirt. It was red and black. It's t-shirt. When I got there, I'm way too underdressed. and the second year, I'm like, you know what? I actually ordered some vests for my boys. I don't know if you remember, they came in with them nice vests on. It took me so long to find a tie. But I tell you that the anticipation of the event felt different. Wanting to go was different.
Right.
It's not, when we say this is not a POW Center type of thing, this is a well done, professionally lit event. Like, this is a true gala. You had the speakers, the last speaker, I can't remember his name. What was the councilman?
Jonathan Medlock.
Jonathan Medlock. His speech, the thing that stood out to me was the mental health piece.
Absolutely.
To hear his stature speak about his struggles and his insecurities, I felt that it meant so much, not just to my sons who were there, but me.
Right.
You know, I'm working for a mortgage firm. We talked off camera about a bit of my struggles, about what I was facing, and feeling good enough to walk into a den of hyenas, you know, and be okay with who I am and the kind of greatness I have without my thoughts running rapid on me, and being able to settle myself down when I got no affirmation or confirmation from any other individual in the room.
Right.
To be able to rise above that, feeling like it is a gravitational pull back to my traumatic past, and being able to handle moments after that speech. I'm telling you, that last event, I went home with a smile, encouraged. My following year was my breakout year.
Awesome.
Right? And this year, although 2024 has been a struggle, but a good one. It's like the setup to a correction, I believe. And you know, the fight in this year was fueled from what I heard at that event.
Awesome.
It was not something I was worried. I'm not folding. I am not folding. I'm not, because I am great. And I know that I'm great because I know great men struggle with what I struggle with.
Yeah.
Right. And I just felt so grateful that my sons got a chance to see that. They got a chance to see me speak. You know, my mother got a chance to see it. My wife got a chance to see it. I remember the little camera thing that went around.
360.
Yeah, and we did a little video. And that was fire. The boys loved being a part of that. Man, this event was well done. The catering that was available, right? It looked like you sold every table that was in the house.
Except one.
It was an amazing event. And that was the time where I came and I'm like, all right, now I feel like I'm dressed to par, right? I don't feel like I'm just coming and I'm hanging in there. Like, nah, I feel like I'm supposed to be here now. But I felt like that event was really well done. And it was a testimony to, you know, everything that I had seen in an accumulation of 5 years. And I'm starting to hear it in you now, and the manner in which your mind works around this sort of thing. And to hear you say that, like, I can be better is, first of all, I'm grateful to be underneath this level of stewardship. But it's amazing to my mind, because that was great.
It was good. It was good. I mean, it was definitely good. I definitely, this year, I think if we have this conversation again this same time, you'll be saying that this year is better. And I do keep the board out of some of the things that happen because I want them to be surprised with some things also. They know the majority, but there are some things that we do as some surprises. But
can you let me in on a little bit of something? I mean,
nope, won't do it. I mean, just know we'll have young people there performing again as we do every year. Last year, the fashion show was so much fun. Awesome. We had some young fashion designers who are doing great things in the world. And so, you know, we have to always think about what's next with that.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm excited about 2025 too, because that's 5 years. Yes. And so, you know, we might do it on the moon. I don't know. I don't know. But you know, 5 years we got to step it up.
If anybody else said that, I would throw that away. But the fact that you said it, I might prepare my space boots, man.
You go to the moon?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to the moon. Because I believe, I'm like, Lord,
we going to the moon.
Said we go to the moon, man. Yeah. But yes, that was a very well done event, and I'm excited about this year's speaker.
Me too.
Do you want to put it out there, or?
Well, Brandy Bridget, she is a financial guru in Prince George's County. Yep. If you are interested, please look her up. That's Brandy with an I, Brandi. The agency is her agency at National Harbor, and her goal is to help every family in Prince George's County be financially stable. And so she's well on her way. I'm excited to hear what she has to tell us about how to be elegant, because, you know, all of the speeches match the topic. So We're gonna see. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to it. And I when you think about what we just talked about, and you think about the level of expectation that you're setting here, I remember a guy told me a long time ago, don't get your wife nothing too crazy on the first anniversary because you got to top that bad boy on the next year. And just to see how your mind's working. And the level of anticipation is even higher now. Now that I know I'm about to be surprised while I'm there. I'm the VP of the daggone board. So that means we're getting ready to see even more from you. And I think that that's dope. But that's not even all of it. You got a charter school that you are lifting up right now. It's going to be in Charles County. Pre-K, right?
Yeah, pre-K and K, we're marching to trying to open a charter school. Application is in, just really looking for space and things of that sort, waiting to see if we get the approval. Let me not even say if. Waiting to see when we get the approval.
See how this works.
Because I am a firm believer that, speak what you want, right? You speak it happens. And so I am absolutely excited. My mother was an educator, and so the pre-K portion of this will absolutely be named after her. We'll do it as an educational center for Regina Gibbons, because that was my first mentor.
That's dope.
And so I want to make sure that I pay homage, because I would not be here without her, because I mean, what I do is what I saw her do every day.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. And I'm excited for the opportunity that it'll spawn, the jobs that it'll bring, the the stewardship over the kids, getting them started off the right way, under the right love, right, and not under a bogus curriculum. Like, this is going to be based off of great minds who see the real problems and who actually want to be an answer to those problems instead of the status quo. I mean, we talked about it off camera, and we were saying how we don't have enough people who don't challenge the way things are. Why do you think that is?
Because it's easier to go along. Like, it's easier to get along to go along, and so most people just do that. But for me, this charter school, part of the reason why it's so important is because we need to get back to basics. We need to make sure that our young people can write in cursive. Even though I understand computers are taking. I
believe my kids don't know how.
I mean,
a signature. I was signing a receipt the other day, and Cam was like, "What is that?"
And I get it. AI is taking over, computers are taking over, all of those things are happening. I understand it. But to have the basic knowledge of how to add without a calculator. And even with computers, we don't teach them how to type.
There's no more computer classes?
I mean, there are computer classes, but what happened to basic typing classes? The Mavis Beacon, all of those things. And so we put them in front of these computers and these toys and these things, and just let them go for it. Let them explore, let them experience whatever, and hopefully they'll master it. But let's really get some organization around how we're doing that. We're going to take away screen time. So I'm telling you now, parents, if you are one that your child has to have a phone while they're in school, this academy won't be the place for you.
Yeah, my kids, they don't, during the week, they don't play no games, and they gotta be off the phone by 8. Because you gotta kill your mind.
Yes.
You gotta rest your mind in order to be able to rest. I don't want you dreaming about it. I don't want your subconscious dreaming about it. Right. And they don't like the right stuff on there neither. So, their algorithms are all screwed up, but I completely understand that and agree with it too. Some parents are not. You're going to have a fight on your hands.
Absolutely. And that's why I just was very clear, right? If this is not, if it's not something that you're interested in, and that's okay. Yeah. I get it. It's okay. But I do think our children should be able to think without having a phone in their hand.
I also think that the parents will be reassured. Your mind works too great. Your mind works in a great fashion, so you'll be able to answer that question or that problem before we get to it. But let me ask you about that internet thing. We were talking, like I said, I know I keep saying we were talking off camera, but we were. And we were talking off camera about how the internet has our kids screwed up.
Absolutely.
Right? And a portion of our conversation was about woke culture and how right now in the school systems, they've taken timelines away. And I know in Baltimore, they have the No Child Left Behind, systematic. I call that, it's another level of systematic oppression because you are not holding these kids accountable. You don't force them to be who they are supposed to be in order to get what they are supposed to get out of that, which is the grade. And in each challenge and each problem and each struggle, that is the development of the child. See, math is not about math. This is not about math. It's not even about remembering a formula. It's about, can your brain continue to move differently to keep up with whatever the curriculum is actually to keep up with.
Right.
The actual transformation of your mind with each difficult level that you get to. But we're taking the difficulty away.
Right.
And we're actually in, I think you were saying, I'll let you explain it because you know a little bit more about it. And PG County, what were you saying about them not being able to do homework at a certain time?
Well, so there's not really and you still have some teachers who hold to the old ways of, if I give you homework tonight, it's due tomorrow. But there is a such thing as your homework being due further along somewhere in the quarter. And I'm with you. Like, if I give you something today, it's due Friday. Well, it's due Friday. It's not going to be due Monday. It's not going to be due Tuesday. It's due Friday. But I think we give a lot more grace on things that matter. And, because you're not setting them up for the next day of school. You're setting them up for the next phase of their life.
Right. The time management pressure that they need to feel. They need to learn how to manage their time.
Absolutely.
And they need the structure.
I would love to go to work and say, I know you gave me this assignment and it's due.
I'm doing it till next year.
Today. But I feel like I want to do it September 2025.
I feel like feelings don't always tell us the truth.
I know.
And the internet, man, there's a lot of people who feel great about it, and it does do great things. It brings a great benefit in one element. But you know how a light shining works. The moment you cut the light on, the shadows that generate is organic. You can't do anything about the shadows underneath the table because the light can't get to it.
Right.
And that doesn't show up until the light is turned on. So it's like the moment you create a good thing, it organically creates a negative.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you feel like the internet is crippling our children from the benefits that it brings.
So I think the internet, or social media, I'm going to be more specific. I think that it is the best and the worst of us.
Yeah.
I think it is helping some self-esteem and it's killing some self-esteem at the same time. It's helping some confidence and it's killing some confidence because we don't have a real sense of reality anymore. Everyone can get on social media and we can dress up and we live in our best life. That's what we're doing on social media. But little do you know, when I get off of here, I go live in my car. But you think that I live in the space that I just took the video. And so now you start comparing yourself because you're 23, I'm 23. How is it that at 23, she's doing so great? And we all know that comparison is the thief of joy, right? And so we start comparing and then we wonder why our young people are walking around here sad and depressed or trying to figure out, I want to be the next influencer.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be an influencer. And not saying that you can't. But how many of them can exist in one space?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And, I'll even add to that, with everyone trying to be an influencer, that means there's a level of competition there.
Absolutely.
And you'll do more to beat out certain levels of competition. And that means doing things that you might not always feel comfortable doing just to get the views or to get the
Yeah.
likes or to get the algorithms to favor you, to get people to favor you, right? And one thing I'm big on in social media is being me.
Right.
I make sure things I post are the things I laugh at. The things I post are the things that inspire me. The things I talk about are the things I'm going through. I never, ever show or reflect anything that I feel someone will take the wrong way. Now, that doesn't mean that I can control other people's perspectives, but I have boys who follow me, and I know that those boys are going to hold me accountable. Like, now, Dad, you know daggone well, right? I don't want to hear that come from them at all. Plus, I'm in a mentorship space, and I care about how people see me, and I also care about how I might make you feel, you know? And I don't think that that's for everyone. I don't think everyone feels that way. And you can clearly see that it's making other people feel that way too. Something so massive can make you feel so small. I did not expect us to be fighting this kind of fight in 2024.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And I'm going to tell you what else. I feel these kids are in a very dangerous space because they are so aware with how much information is out there right now. They are so aware that they are absorbing information they were never meant to absorb.
Or never ready to absorb.
All of a sudden, certain people are saying that they have certain things they don't have. Now, I struggle with anxiety, but I do not want a child thinking that they struggle with anxiety if they don't struggle with anxiety. Let me tell you, kids, this is not a fight for the weak. I'm telling you right now. And I don't want you self-diagnosing. I don't want you looking on social media to see what's going on with your mind.
Yeah.
That's a very dangerous umbrella to be under when you are, maybe you don't have the issue, or maybe you do. You don't want someone who's not a professional talking to you about it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I tell you what, Ms. Gibbons, you have accomplished a lot. You know, we've listed it earlier. I'll even go back through because I think it's remarkable to even mention, right? Director of Why Not. We just talked about how amazing this mentorship and this nonprofit organization is. The getting ready to take this program through accreditation, right? Getting ready to launch Why Not Academy in Charles County. A charter school. Getting ready, are the senior director of customer experience of compliance with Graduate School USA. That alone allows you to mend and be in contact with relationships that are going to help you do everything you're trying to do. To hear the relationships that you've already put into place to bring everything in this organization to life, and all of your dreams and everything else that you're trying to do, this all sparked from a story you told me a while back, sitting on the train.
Yep.
Talk to me about that.
That's exactly where it came from. Going to work one day, some young ladies was on the train and their conversation was very unbecoming. And I'm sitting there thinking, making some decisions like, do I say something? We're not really in a space where you just walk up to kids and talk to them.
Because this is not that. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out who I was going to have to fight if,
whose child,
if I had this conversation. But what really made me decide to do it, it was an older couple behind them, and the older mother grabbed the husband because of the conversation, and I said, okay, it's time. So
no matter what the outcome was.
I didn't even really think about the outcome at that point because I was more focused on how the seniors were feeling versus what could have potentially went wrong. And so, had the conversation with the young ladies and told them that their conversation is not one that I would have with my friends at my age at 40 right now, and definitely not in public. And, told them that they didn't have to allow people to use their body. That shouldn't be their thing. They're queens and somebody loves them. And of course, you're not my mama, you're not my aunt. I heard all of that. And I said, you're absolutely correct. I'm neither one of those two, but I am somebody who cares about you. Called my best friend and I said, hey, I'm going to start a nonprofit today. And she said, well, I know you are. So what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? Because we're starting a nonprofit today. I said I'll call you back when I know.
How long ago was that?
That was 6 years ago now.
Wow.
Yep, 6 years ago. And so that's how we are sitting here today, because of that conversation and probably all the other things that have been instilled in me.
You know, I was looking at that book, Changing Faces.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to your story. And from that to now, you've been changing faces every year since that point. I think it's remarkable with what you've got done. I know you don't like compliments. Let me tell you something. You exuberate a level of greatness that you are unaware of because of how great you are determined to be. And we just talked about when you shine a light, you organically get shadows. You actually work within your shadows, and they work for you. They fuel you. And to see your mind, I'm so interested in your mind. I am extremely interested in your mind because I've seen people try to do what you do and fail. I've seen people do what you tried to do, get started, and it crumbled. I've seen people want to do and dream about doing what you have done, and you're saying, I ain't done nothing yet. And I just think that I have not done anything yet is your shadow. And that thing is working for you. That thing is working for you.
I haven't. It's so much more to come. So much more.
I'm looking forward to it. Tell everybody how they can tap in with Why Not, look forward to the charter school, and etc.
So we, of course, have a website. It's www.whynot, and that's KNOTINC.org, or we're on all the social media platforms. Thanks to our VP here, we are at Why Not Inc. or at Why Not Inc. Mentors. It will get you to us via Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even LinkedIn. We definitely are always looking for mentors. We're always looking for event helpers. We're looking for board members. Even if this is a space that you said for 2025 you want to give back some time and you want to be a board member, look us up. If you have a heart for young people, and you truly have to have a heart for young people, right?
24 schools, you better.
And you can't. One thing about me is that I don't really allow for a lot of inconsistency in this space, because I know our young people need consistency. So I'm hard when it comes to that, and I'll be the first to admit it. But I think it's well needed, because I think our young people deserve the best of us. Like, we can't give them a little bit. So if you only have a little bit to give, sounds like you just need to be one of our volunteers for an event. Or if you have a special talent that you want to shine, or you want to open a class or have a class, something that our young people can use, please. That's how chess came about. That's how photography came about. We are trying to give them experiences that otherwise they may not have. Everybody does not learn how to play chess, but it is a game that everybody can learn how to play. So we want to make sure that they do.
Yeah, and I can vouch for it. And as you can clearly see, as great as she is, she's going to tell you the straight up truth. And I know that for a fact. But listen, this is Regina Gibbons, Why Not Inc., and it's doing great things. DMV area, but I think it's branching out. I think it's going to be much more bigger and robust and broader than just the DMV. I can see that already beginning to take its form in this charter school. I'm excited about what's to come. I get a chance to see it develop, and I'm overwhelmingly grateful to be a part of something like this at the beginning stages. And as you can hear, she's looking to go even higher. So I'm blessed to be a part of something like this. And listen, if you ever want to be told the truth and be held accountable, this is the spot to come get that done, because she is determined to be great, and she's not going to let anybody get in her way. This is the Ryan Nelson Podcast, and these are words from Humble King. Peace.